food science. Today will be another food feature, and we're going to be talking about the scientific process behind making homemade butter. There's only one ingredient actually used in making homemade butter, and this is a heavy cream, or whipping cream. The reason that you're able to use a heavy cream in order to make butter is because of the amount of fat. The process of actually making homemade butter involves just really shaking up the liquid. And this process of shaking the liquid will actually cause the fat molecules to separate. The more the cream is shaken, the more these fat molecules are released, and then they're going to actually attach to each other, and they're going to form a solid, or butter. And that's essentially all of the science behind making butter. So if you want to make your own, there are only two things that you actually need. One, you're going to need an empty jar. You want something with a lid that you can have a tight seal on. And two, you're going to need some whipping cream, or a heavy cream. Higher fat content, the better and the more butter you're actually going to get. So we've taken the lid off, and we're going to add our whipping cream into it. Make sure you have a really tight seal, because we're going to be shaking this, and you don't want this to go everywhere. Alright, so let's get started. So I'll come back in 5 minutes and show you how far we've gone. Alright, if you guys can hear this, the sound has changed as I'm shaking it. It's not quite as liquidy, so we're going to open it up and see what it looks like inside. Alright, so it's not quite a butter yet. Let's see if I can show you. Still quite liquidy, but it's starting to get thicker. Kind of what it looks like when you're actually making whipped cream. We're going to keep shaking that. This process is very similar to when you make homemade ice cream, except with ice cream you're adding sugar and your vanilla flavorings, and then you have to cover your container in a larger container with ice and rock salt or pickling salt. Makes it a little colder, so then when you're shaking it, it actually starts to freeze. So we'll check back in a little while. Alright, it's been another couple minutes, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like inside. It's almost there. It's become very solidified. So it actually kind of looks like whipped cream. So we're going to shake it up a little bit more and see if we can't get it into an actual butter. Of course, at this point, it's hard to actually shake it. I need either bigger hands or a smaller jar. I almost keep dropping the jar. There's also not a lot of liquid left in the jar, so it's kind of hard to shake it up and actually get any movement out of it. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so I can no longer shake the jar. Nothing happens. There's no more movement of liquid within the jar, so I think we've used up all of our liquid. Let's open it and see if we have butter. It's hard to tell. I can't tell if it's just become whipped cream without any flavor, or if we actually have butter in there. If you can see, there is no more liquid. So if nothing else, we got really close, but this is as far as we could get with this amount of whipping cream. So, good thing to note is if you want to do this with your kids, you're definitely going to need a little bit more whipping cream than what I had. So my container is the 237 milliliter one. This is not enough. This is not going to get you a good lump of butter that your kids are actually going to be able to see. Inside, you can tell that the process has begun. The fat's solidifying and it's forming a solid. But we don't have a chunk of butter I can take out to show you guys. If we had a little bit more fluid in here, I could keep shaking it and then some of the liquid would remain in the jar, and then it would just be the fat molecules that would have solidified. So you'll probably want maybe another cup of whipping cream in here at least. I wouldn't go maybe too much more than that because you do need room for it to actually move around when you're shaking it in order for the fat molecules to separate. But that being said, I am going to make some bread, and I will try this out and see if it actually tastes like butter, and I'll let you guys know. Well, it made whipped cream. It's not really butter. Like I said, I need more liquid, but this is what it looks like. Pretty thick, pretty good for shaking it for like 10 minutes. I do say so myself. Just tastes like not sweet whipped cream right now. So, yeah.